Hustle in your 20s. Today we are going to take a look at why it is paying off when you are starting out early and also starting out strong and aggressively. Hello and welcome. My name is Peter B and I welcome you here at My First Million, where we are achieving our financial goals together. So this video is especially addressed to all the young folks out there who are hustling and trying to do the best to win in their game as early as possible. But even though maybe you're already a little bit older, just like me, not the youngest guy anymore, you will also find a lot of value in here, because the earlier you start out, the easier it is. So, and you will never be as young as you're just right now anymore in the future. So for this, I want to focus why it really pays off to hustle as early as possible. And for this, we are taking first a quick look at the very fundamental of personal finance, the wealth cycle. The wealth cycle is just the very basics that is showing us how can we win financially. We basically have the earnings, then we subtract the spendings, and so we receive the savings. And then we use the savings for investing. And the investing then, if generated a positive rate of return, will boost our earnings. So it will start to chime in as a second source of income over time. So if you are hustling, usually what you will be doing, especially focusing on, is on your earnings, trying to boost up your income as much as possible, your weekly pay or your monthly salary as much as possible. But at the same time, you will see also in this cycle that it also pays off if all the spendings will stay the same, so that your savings, if the spending will stay low and you boost up your earnings, your savings will also get a boost. And as a result, you can invest more as well. So that is the main principle of hustling as early as possible. Boost your earnings so that you can save more, so that you can invest more as early as possible. Now, we are going to take a look at why investing early really pays off. So for this, we just take the rule of 72 into consideration. The rule of 72 basically is telling us how long it will take to double our money if it's put into an investment and if we let all the returns that we are getting out of the investment compound. And for the following example, I just use an annual return of 7.2%. Why I use 7.2%? Because considering the rule of 72, a 7.2% rate of return in our investing will let double our money in the investments every 10 years. Also, 7.2% if you consider the historical returns of the stock market is quite reasonable. If you take a look and do some back testing, you see that most markets return somewhere between 7 and 10% annually. So if you put everything into the broad stock market, everything that you invest, you should be able to achieve at least around 7%. So now taking the rule of 72, so it doubles every 10 years. Now, if you're a hustler, you want to potentially become rich. And let's just assume you are don't have very high goals, but more or less moderate goals. You just want to retire as a millionaire. So in the US, the retirement age is 67. So the question is, what do you need to retire as a millionaire? So if you want to have $1 million in your retirement account by the age of 67, when you are, let me click in here, when you're 55, you need 500,000 K. Why 500,000? Going back to the rule of 72, we want to double our investment will double every 10 years without putting any additional money into. So if you need 500,000 at the age of 57, you only need 250,000 at the age of 47 to be invested in the stock market as your retirement fund. And then at the age of 37, you only need 125,000 to be invested. And then at the age of 27, you only need $62,500 invested. So in order to retire with 67 as a millionaire, this is the money that you need to have in your retirement account. And if you have this in your retirement account, and again, invest it in the broad stock market, diversified in the stock market, then you will end up as a retiree, as a millionaire. The younger you are, the less you need. And it's not just a little bit less, it is significantly less. So this is why starting out early and starting out strong is really paying off over time. And therefore I salute every hustler out there who is in his 20s and doing the best he can to win financially already. 62,500. This is the amount you need in your retirement fund at the age of 27. And if you just let everything kept into the retirement fund and let it keep compounding, you will end up as a millionaire, or should be ending up more or less as a millionaire when you're retiring. So this is the goal, what we want to achieve, as in this example. So 62,500 maybe sounds still quite like a significant amount. But again, we are addressing hustlers out there. How much do you really need to save per year? So if you are starting out early, young and strong, maybe you're already starting out at the age of 20. So if you start at the age of 20 and you always save the same amount of money every year, you only need to save up $9,000 every year to get to the 62,500 by the age of 27. Or in other words, this means you only need to save up around $750 per month. So $750 per month sounds doable, right? Especially if you consider being a hustler. So you need to have additional savings here. So again, in order to do that, you, especially as a hustler, will be focusing on your earnings. Boost your earnings. And in order to save around 750, maybe you need to have around 1,000 in additional earnings, because maybe you also need to pay some taxes and have some additional expenses on it. This means if you hustle for 7 years, have working additional hours, having a second income for these 7 years, in order to really save away more money, you will already win financially until your retirement. $750 additionally saved up just within 7 years. Is this doable? Yes, I think it's very much doable for everyone out there. Of course, it's not easy. I'm not saying it is easy or simple, but it is very simple. So if you, let's say, earn $20 per hour, this means you need to work around 50 additional hours per month. Of course, 50 additional hours, it's a little bit tiring, but if you're still young, you're still full of energy, I think everyone can do that. Or at least nearly everyone can do that for 7 years. And this already guarantees you a very strong head start. So, are you a hustler out there? Do you have experience in hustling, or do you regret that you didn't hustle more when you were younger? Please share your experiences in the comments below with us. I look forward to see you back again in our next video. Thanks a lot for joining me today, and especially I look forward to see you winning financially.